Hey YouTube, just wanted to show you my new desktop machine. It's a late 2005 Powermac G5 which I got for £220 due to the fact it's a little scratched up. As you can see there's a long scratch here and another one there. And I'm not really bothered because the machine works perfectly as it should. So I'm just going to give you a quick tour of the hardware externals of the machine. Coming around to the back we have the open latch. Flicks out like that, and if you pull this bit down you can have a lock. You can close that and put a lock through there to stop people from opening your machine, which is quite cool. At the back I have two video cards installed, the standard Geforce 6600 LE with 128 megs of 128-bit GDDR graphics memory and two DVI ports. At the bottom here I've got a Nvidia Geforce 7800 GT installed with 256 megs of 256-bit GDDR3 graphics memory, and this has an S-video output, one DVI and two DVIs. And we've got the large rear exhaust fan, and then we've got another one of those. We've got the airport and Bluetooth antenna bar, which I don't have those installed. We've got the power input, and then going up at the back we have three USBs, analog audio in, analog audio out, optical audio in, optical audio out, Firewire 400, Firewire 800, and then 2 gigabit Ethernet ports. Right. Coming around to the front of the machine, next to my MacBook, we have the DVD drive slot. There's a super drive in there. At the front there's a tiny little hole above the power button here. That's the power light. Got the power button itself, a headphone jack, one USB port which has a little Wi-Fi USB adapter plugged into it at the moment, and then I've got a Firewire 400 port underneath that. Right, I'm just going to plug the machine in its little cave under there, and then I'll boot it up for you to see. But first of course I need to show you the inside, so I'll pull this latch open and pull the door away. Just rest that on the floor down there, and then you have to take out this plastic air baffle. And the specs of this machine are, we have a dual core 2 GHz G5 in here. It's the PowerPC 970MP. Behind this fan, which you just pull out like that, nice and simple, there is 8.5 gigs of DDR2 RAM, arranged in 2 gig, 2 gig, 256, 256, and then 2 gig, 2 gig for 8.5 gigs. In that, that's the processor's heatsink. If I push this back into place and move up, we have the speaker and fan here, an auxiliary power cable, and you can see that, which is running into my Geforce 7800 GT graphics card. It is not an original Apple one, it's a BFG Geforce 7800 GT OC, so I presume, since I bought this from America, and it cost $124.75. I presume that graphics card was flashed by someone who then sells on eBay, but I don't have a problem with that, it works great. There are 4 PCI Express slots in there. You can see just one of them at the top, that's a 4-time slot. This 6600 video card, which is the original card here, which would have been here, is in the 8-time slot. There's another 4-time slot in there, and then this 7800 GT is installed in the 16-time slot. Up here we have my DVD burner super drive which came with the machine. It's the Pioneer 110D, connected over an IDE interface. There's another fan here which is for the hard drive bays, and then we've got one hard drive installed which is a Western Digital 1TB SATA hard disk. So that's the inside of the machines. Just to go over the specs again, it's a dual core 2 GHz with 8.5 gigs of DDR2 RAM, 1 TB of storage, a DVD burner, and a Geforce 7800 GT and Geforce 6600 LE video card. Right, so I'm just going to put my machine back together. Right, I'll just put it in its cave and then I'll boot it up, and you'll be able to see how fast it starts up, which it's not too slow given its age, but I do intend to put an SSD in here soon as the boot drive, and that should give us lots of speed. And we're back. The machine's all in its cave, next to my Logitech subwoofer, and there's a 5.1 surround sound system plugged into this. Sorry about my desk being a mess, but you know, I've kind of been busy recently and not had enough time to tidy up. There's my large Confederate flag, do quite like that. There's another one of the speakers behind here, behind this cushion, and the other one is back there. Need to get them on the walls and stuff, but got the original Apple keyboard the machine would have come with, and the original Apple mouse on my mouse mat, which happens to say on it, "Love kills slowly," and that's true, because anyone of you who knows about my depression knows it's caused by something to do with that. But here's the display I use the machine with. It's a 22-inch ACE display. I don't know the exact model number of the display, but I'll put it in the description if I can find it. But it's a LED backlit full 1920 by 1080p HD panel, and it's hooked up to the G5 by a DVI. So I'm just going to power the machine on. We can see the boot up. 3, 2, 1. And there was the bong, which on the G5 for some reason it doesn't play through my sound system. It plays out the G5's internal speaker, but everything else comes out the sound system. So let's see if we can find some place to put you on the desk. And my display is on. Let's see if I can angle my display downwards at the camera. There we go. And the G5 is booting up. Bearing in mind this is a PowerPC Mac running Mac OS X 10.5.8, it's not that slow for its age. And there it is. And for some reason on the video my display looks like it's very pixelated and horrible quality, but it isn't in real life. It's quite beautiful, the picture it gives. Okay, so you can see that it's quite smooth. You can see me scrolling through the top there because of that powerful video card. But yeah, I'll just bring up the specs. As we can see there, it says Mac OS X version 10.5.8, processor dual 2 GHz PowerPC G5, memory 8.5 gigs DDR2 RAM. Let's bring up more info. In the graphics displays we have the two video cards, the GeForce 6600 LE and the GeForce 7800 GT. And then the hard drive is a Western Digital WD10EALS 00Z8A0, and I've got 931.51 gigs spare on that. So yeah, that was a quick hardware tour of my new Powermac G5 system. I have recorded some upgrading videos, which I've decided to put this video on first because a certain person has been mithering me to make a video on my G5, but I'll put the upgrading videos on as soon as I possibly can. Thanks for watching, comment, rate, subscribe.